government perplexes all of us. How can those idiots get away with what they get away with? This is my theory why. That because they don't really have to work for it, like a doctor or a scientist or architect or whatever. All these people have to get higher degrees to do the things that they're doing. But government seems to be the last bastion of stupidity, where anybody can step up and get in the race. Of course, everybody knows that government politicians are, I hate to say out and out liars, but, have been known to tell people what they want to hear and what they actually are planning on doing and why they're running and why they want to govern or in Congress to, you're not exactly governing, you're just basically there to create laws. And would that be still considered governing, even though you're not a governor? You're just there to vote on laws. Interesting. So, but my theory is that we should make all politicians, all people that want to govern over us or write laws about that govern over us. Obviously, the Supreme Court, and all those they actually have to go to higher higher college and have to get masters or PhDs and I don't know. Is there a PhD in law? Should look that up. But they have to get higher. So at least one branch of our government, it is absolutely essential that you have to get higher education. Whereas president, Congress, governor, mayor, you just have to be a high school graduate, and then in the case of president, you have to be over the age of 35. That's it. There's really nothing else. And I think that's wrong. And I had a theory that the the reason people with higher degrees are generally thought of as smarter and worth paying more is because they went through the trouble. They worked hard to get those degrees, to get those positions. So I was thinking that, if congressmen had to work harder and prove that they actually knew what they were talking about, they would deserve their degrees and wouldn't be treating, their office as, I hate to say joke, because, I've never met a congressman. I don't know any of them. But so much of what I've heard and so much of what they've done, joke it probably doesn't even begin to explain what I think congressmen treat their office as. It's almost beyond description. It has its own description. A congressman. I bet 1,000 thoughts of what you picture a congressman, and I'm betting none of them, because none of them pop into my head that are good. So if they had to go and get degrees to run, at least then we'd know that they're qualified. They didn't have to go around, say, promising all sorts of crazy things to, people, and, and that's the other thing, money. I was wondering if if like part of their tuition or something like that, or maybe even part of the alums, the people that have graduated, donated instead of going to the college, actually donated, you know, for their election processes, so that instead of, them going to businessmen and rich people who definitely have their own interest at heart, they that they were more, working from a system. They were getting their money from a system, and therefore they were truly working for the people. I think it I think it would work. But that's the other problem is how do you get people that are in charge of the laws to change the laws to get rid of the people that are in charge of the laws? Now, obviously, strikes and people, getting up there, and obviously new politicians who don't have degrees who are promising to vote in this new law, we could support. But it does cause kind of a problem to change everything like that so dramatically. But I really think that we would really fix this country significantly if the people that were in every aspect of running, in fact, I'm not even talking about just the politicians, but also the people that worked under them, the secretaries, and I'm not talking about literal secretaries. I'm talking about secretaries of state and all that stuff. But the people that hold under offices that are more appointed than 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 voted in. There's some like diplomats. Basically, I've heard quite often that these people are just huge donors that want to be diplomats to Paraguay and God knows where else, and they put together uh, you know fundraisers, dinners, and then when their person gets in, they get to go to be Argentina or God knows anywhere, and they don't know anything about what the hell they're doing. All they know is they want to be there. Greg, you're not making it easy. So while my cat decides to move, I really think that we should try and and push an agenda of degrees for all politicians and you know I hate to say underlings, but people that almost work behind the scenes that should at least have a bachelor's and possibly a separate degree in diplomat, diplomatic things, so that when the president has to pick people to be diplomats of Russia and China, hopefully they do pick good people for significant countries, but even half-hearted countries that we should still have like Canada. Christ, the diplomat for Canada must have a really easy time. But even them should have some kind of level of competence to be a diplomat. Just my thoughts.